everybody, my name is Savannah and welcome back to my booktube channel. So today I want to talk about one of my favorite tropes of all time, and it's one that I really don't see a lot, especially in YA. However, this is changing, and that is the trope of the villain as the love interest. Now, this is the video for anybody who loves Alina and the Darkling from Shadow and Bone, or like Kylo, Ren, and Rey, this kind of thing. I think for me what I love so much about it is, one, it's different, and it's also always, I really like the sort of like push and pull and the power dynamics. I find villainous characters, at least my favorite ones, are always like cunning and cold and a little bit cruel, even like brutal and that sort of thing. And I think it's just really fun to read about. So basically all the ships that I would die for are like this, which, you know, says something about me, but honestly, like, it's relatable as hell. So, I'm also not going to defend myself. I figure if you're watching this video, like, you know what's up. So, like, this is not the time to attack me and be like, this is problematic, because, like, I don't give a fuck. Also, I disagree. So, really quick, this is the book that inspired this, and I already mentioned that, and that is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, but I wanted to give you guys sort of a cover to base all of this off of. So this is really the kind of dynamic that we're talking about, Alina and the Darkling. It's also funny because a lot of these books I'm talking about are also Russian fantasies, so like Russia Who Hurt You, but also Please Don't Change. So this next one I want to talk about is actually sort of like the most extreme version of this kind of dynamic that I can think of, and that is Deathless by Catherine M. Valente. This takes place during the sort of Stalinist revolution in Russia, and it deals with the Russian folk character of Koshi, I think that's how you say it, Koshi the Deathless. And the love interest is Maria, who is just like a regular young girl. I think in this one, both of the characters are pretty awful people, and they're pretty codependent as well. But at the same time, I really like this because, like, as much as sort of like the villain gives, he also receives. They're so well matched, and they just like tear each other apart. So like I said, this is sort of like the darker manifestation of Alina and the Darkling. They at times don't really have such a healthy dynamic, but like I still really enjoy it, and like honestly they deserve each other. They deserve each other. I'll leave it at that. So this next book that I wanted to talk about, oh boy, is Web of Frost by Lindsay Smith. Holy shit. While I was reading this, it really felt like it was the Grisha rewritten specifically for Alina and the Darkling fans. But I feel like that doesn't do it enough justice because it is very different, but it just does such a great job of creating that kind of like atmosphere and recreating their dynamic and like that ambition, the push and pull, all of that kind of stuff. In this case, our love interest is a false or excommunicated prophet, and the main character is a princess, and sort of like him leading her astray, and they're playing these like morality games and like power games, and it's just so much fun. I have this sinking feeling that this is gonna end the same way that Shadow and Bone did, where like they don't end up together, and I think I might die, but like also I love suffering, so join me, hopefully, please. We'll go down together, it's fine. For the last of this sort of Russian fairy tale nonsense section, this is definitely the tamest of the options as well, and it's Hunted by Megan Spooner. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, set again in fucking Russia. And I think this is honestly sort of like the stepping stones to coming to the dark side. If you want to get into books like this, I would start with this one, see how you feel, and then sort of like move through the ranks. In this one, our love interest is obviously the Beast, and he definitely is beastly and very monstrous. He's lost his humanity a lot, and so again, you just sort of have this sort of like, I don't know, weird, twisty, entertaining shit. God damn it, I love this shit. Ugh! This next book I feel kind of bad about for including because it doesn't come out until May. But it's Furyborn by Claire Legrand. I decided to include it, one, because Fairy Loot had an arc of this in the November box, so I figured those arcs are more in circulation. Two, I love this book so much, holy shit. And so I want to build hype for it. Because this book isn't out yet, I'm not actually going to really give you specifics, but there's actually two couples that you could attribute to this, so like, if you love Alina and the Darkling, keep this on your radar. God damn. The next book I want to talk about is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This one, again, you have that same dynamic. I'm not... No, I ship it. I ship it. I do. I'm not even gonna play games. I do. And I can acknowledge that, like, this one in particular has some problematic elements to the relationship. Basically, we're dealing with a fairy prince, the cruel prince, and then the adopted human daughter of a fairy, like, general, that kind of thing. And so in this world, you have, like, fairies don't really see humans as equals at all, and so they're kind of like fair game. And again, fairies are supposed to be like these twisted, dark creatures, because that's what they are. And that definitely comes through in their relationship. Neither of them wants to have feelings for the other, but they do. And that's my shit, so I thought I'd share it with you. This next one is the most different. It sort of falls completely outside of what all the other ones are, but I decided to include it anyways. And that's Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. The character of Warner is sort of like a military commander almost, and he captures the main character. He doesn't capture, he imprisons the main character, and we learn as the series goes on that, I mean, it's in all of these, it's always a lot more complicated than you think. Warner, I think, is probably like the most misunderstood of all of these. But I decided to include it anyways because, especially in the first book, like, it's everything I wanted. And Warner is very morally gray and that kind of thing. And he's a dark bastard and I love him, so it's fine. I talked about it anyways. So that's the conclusion to this video. Those are all the books I have, which honestly makes me mad because I love this shit. So I also wanted to make this video not only to help you guys, but also if any of you have recommendations for me, please give them to me because I'm dying and I don't want to wait until 2019 to, like, fulfill. I just I need the good shit. I need a hit, okay? So thanks for watching my video. You're welcome. Bye.